Hello, dear students. I'm Sufia Kamran, and I have been teaching the subject of sociology for quite some time. It's like 21 years, alhamdulillah. And over here, right now, I'm going to talk about A-level sociology. My teaching experience goes like I've been teaching the subject for the last 21 years across levels. I've taught O levels, IGCSE, as well as for recently 2 years, since 2 years, I've been teaching GCSE sociology, and it's basically primarily a recorded lessons based series that with national tutors uh, based in London. And quite a joyful experience for me, teaching at multiple levels and across the boards. So. Um, right now, let's talk about A-level sociology. As you know, and the course code is 9699. And what is basically sociology for if you're a newbie, do not know anything about sociology and want to learn from scratch, or you have any such background of it, or any situation. Sociology is something that is quite relatable to your normal life. Many people consider it a common sense subject, having a lot of regular, mundane kind of things related to normal life. But it's basically a very organized subject. It's the study of human groups and social life. And sociologists primarily, if you see them, they're mostly concerned with observing group behavior that occurs in certain patterns. The patterns can be repetitive, or sometimes right now, the contemporary fields by the contemporary sociologists, you can see that there are some new dynamics as well. Unique patterns are also studied. So sociologists basically study social institutions that exist in all societies, right? Social institutions like you can very closely relate to your own family. So like you have your own family setup in which you have your siblings, your parents, and your other immediate relatives like your maybe your grandparents, as well as the other maybe if it's a joint setup, so there can be joint or extended setup. There can be aunts or uncles or cousins. So like a family is studied if we talk about in sociology, family studied in a certain way as a structure, as an institution, and how it is basically impactful in constructing human identity. So we are going to talk about in a bit. And we study about education as again a structure, an agency, or an institution of society, workplace, economy, religion, and so on. So like it's a study that deals with human behavior, which can be in repetitive patterns or unique ways. And what are the key concepts that we learn in Cambridge International AS and A-level sociology? Like inequality and opportunity. This is a very important theme that you study. Inequality means not all human beings are similar. You can be finding a number of differences on the basis of their gender, their ethnicity, their social statuses, as well as opportunity. There can be inequality of, there can be different opportunities as well. So people's treatment or based on their inequalities can limit their opportunity. So we exclusively study this phenomenon in this, whenever we are dealing with the different themes, like, for instance, education or family or, social systems or globalization, religion, we'll be finding that there are people who are not always treated in a very fair way. And so this is how many human groups their opportunities in life are limited. We also talk about power, control, and resistance. What are the meanings of power? What are the types of power? How power can take the position of a legitimate power, and that can be authority, or it can be a coercive power, that can be oppression, or or an expression of hostility. And at the same time, people at the platforms of power, the people at the podiums of power, they assert their full control over the others, but at the same time they experience resistance from the people who are victimized basically. So we talk about both power and resistance. We also talk about social change and development in all the societies. It's a kind of sociology is a subject that has a bit of history, a bit of maybe some economic knowledge, a bit of theoretical frameworks, little bit of philosophy, as well as, some sort of political science. So like it's quite an interdisciplinary subject, and it's very interesting when you study it, deeply and dig it really, comprehensively. You'll be able to relate many things to whatever is happening very closely, around you, yourself, and the society you're living. Very importantly, we study socialization, culture, and identity. This is the first, basically, foremost theme that you need to know. So, like, socialization means how people are groomed, how are they become, how are they, how are they able to become good humans, sophisticated, civilized human beings. What is culture? What are the different manifestations of culture? Like, we study about culture, norms, values, customs. Are all these terms similar? No, they're not. So we'll be studying about this as well. And, similarly, identity is another thing. Human beings are represented and they can be categorized into different ways through their identity. How is identity shaped up? We also talk about that. So like this is a very this is a very you can say a fundamental theme of sociology. We also talk about structure and human agency. To what extent structures or institutions are important, and is human agency more dominant than structure, or vice versa? Or, or structure is all powerful over any individual's capacity. This is also a very interesting debate that we delve into. Let's talk about the format of the paper. You have two papers, paper one and paper two. Paper two having the themes like socialization, identity, and methods of research. So this is a bit of content overview. Socialization and the creation of social identity is one aspect of it. The other is research methods or methods of research. So, like socialization and the creation of social identity talks about the process of learning and socialization. How do humans become, functioning humans? We talk about that. There are theories. There are so many related concepts that you'll be studying. And it's a very, very interesting, a very fun kind of topic that if you can understand profoundly, then it will be easier for you to relate to the other themes. Social control, conformity, and resistance, as I talked about, in what ways control is manifested, applied, and asserted over human beings, how to what extent people remain very law-abiding, conforming, or obedient to the rules and authority, and to what extent people really become against the law or the writ of the state or society, and they resist. We talk about that as well. Then, social identity in chief. To what extent human identity at individual levels is shaped? Like, for instance, people's identities varies, like at very different levels. They are like gender identity, class identity, or racial or ethnic identity. So we're going to talk about that. Then a very important part of your paper one is methods of research. Now this is a topic that isn't interesting, but at the same time it's quite methodical, as the name suggests. It is with all the methods that are used to study society in a very in a standardized and scientific way. So we'll be talking about data, about the various instruments or methods, like what is content analysis, what is sampling technique, how are interviews conducted, what are observational techniques, so and how is research conducted. You must have heard about these themes, but we'll be doing that in at a greater length. We'll be talking about what are the approaches that the sociologists use to conduct the sociological research. What are the different issues, like how to what extent researches are practical, they are easy to be, undertaken, like are there sponsors for them? Is it financially feasible for the sociologists to carry out any research? So, and the questions, believe me, the questions that are related to research methods are pretty easy to attempt. So, like I'll be telling you, like in this way. Yes. When you'll be, this is a paper format, how you are going to be assessed, how this whole thing, two themes are going to be assessed. So this paper one is, which the title is Socialization, Identity and Methods of Research, is 60 marks paper. Your duration is 1 hour 30 minutes, 2.5 hours, and candidates would be answering 4 questions. There are section A and section B. Section A will be comprised of 3 compulsory questions, sets of questions definitely, and section B will be just one essay question having 26 marks. So there will be 2 questions, and you have to select one. So like section B is pretty selective, and it is optional. So you can have a choice over here. So this is a paper format. Oh, let us sneak peek into the concepts. We study socialization and in what ways identity is formulated. Talk about social control. What is nature versus nurture? We study about culture, norms, and values, identities of human beings on the basis of age, ethnicity, and social class. Not to forget gender. These are quite interesting themes that we'll be covering. Paper two, the themes, if you can review the content, theme is family, the family, basically. So we will be talking about exclusively the family, as an institution, as a structure, as an agency. In many ways, family will be studied. It's again a very comprehensive kind of theme, having multiple types of concepts related to it, and different parts, like what are the different theories of family, and in what ways social change is observed over a period of time, how family has evolved. So there are different perspectives on the role of the family that we are going to talk about, ranging from how functionalists have discussed or reviewed family, what are the perspectives of Marxism, and so you'll be having a number of perspectives that are very important, in terms of viewing or looking at the different themes. And they are so important that these will be the baseline topics and through which you'll be, they're just like pair of glasses. If they are like tinted in blue color, you'll be seeing society in blue color. So Marxist they talk about conflict, functionalists talk about consensus. So like if we'll be talking about from the viewpoint of functionalists on family, so you'll be seeing a lot on in terms of what are the beneficial functions that the family performs. If you'll be seeing it from the perspective of Marxists, then family will be seen in what ways family creates or plays a role in which conflict can be addressed or conflict can be actually seen. Diversity and social change, we're going to talk about the different types of family. And secondly, family roles and changing relationships. In this category, we'll be studying about what are the gender roles between male, female, husband, wife, or the spouses, in what ways they are symmetrical or, quite integrated, which is a modern way of family, or they're still performing, some people still performing the traditional, family roles in which there's quite a segregation between the roles of two spouses. We'll be also talking about age and family life, in what ways age matters or age contributes to how family life goes on. Like what is the role of the elderly, what is the role of the parents, and how our children or childhood is viewed within family setup. Paper two's paper format or assessment overview goes like it is 60 marks paper. The duration is 1 hour 30 minutes. Candidates will have to answer 4 questions, just like paper one. Section A is comprised of 3 compulsory sets of questions. Section B will be comprised of 2 questions, in which there's an option that one essay question having 26 marks can be attempted from selecting from a choice of 2 questions. I hope this is clear to you. So moving on, paper three, which is A2. So like the ones who are aspiring for composite can, continue with that. Otherwise, for your information, this is that is what we are actually interested in. paper. There's only one paper one and paper two for AS level. Now for A2, this is paper three, and it is quite again a very comprehensive paper, a very comprehensive theme in which a number of related concepts are studied. Um, so when we see education, we talk about in what ways education as an agency or institution has evolved over a period of time. There are theories about the role of education, again, Marxism, functionalism, feminism, and other perspectives like maybe new right, neoliberal, social democrat. So we'll be talking about education in from the lenses of all these isms. We'll be talking about education and social mobility. To what extent education plays a very, formative role or a very significant role in making people financially sound, in giving them opportunities to upgrade their standard of living, and that is called social mobility. We'll be talking about these concepts at a in great detail when we'll be doing it. And we also talk about in what ways curriculum is very important and what are the influences of the curriculum of any society. How does it make change in people's lives? There's another theme that is education and inequality, in which we'll be talking about how intelligence matters and how intelligence plays a very pivotal role sometimes, in education attainment. That means what achievement targets in academic scenario. So, like, what is the relationship of this thing with intelligence? Or, there's no role of intelligence we'll be talking about. So, there's a lot of kind of, idea of debate. There are so many debates that you will be, experiencing or coming across. Then, social class and educational attainment, in what ways the different classes within the society are able to academically achieve or not. Similarly, how the different racially, different people, ethnic minorities in a host society, to what extent are they able to, receive the opportunities in an equal way? And what is their educational attainment? Then, lastly, gender and educational attainment, to what extent both boys and girls in any setup or society, how are they, due to the different social factors, they're attaining a lot or not. So, like, again, very debatable thing that we'll be talking about in this paper, paper three. So its assessment is in this way. A format of paper is it's a 50 marks paper having 1 hour 15 minutes duration, in which candidates will have to answer 4 compulsory questions. All are mandatory, no choice at all. Question 4, and you have three structured questions, question 1, 2, 3, and then last question, that is question 4, is an essay question having 26 marks. So I hope this is clear too. Then your A2 paper, your last paper, paper 4, is comprised of 3 important themes. And over here, you'll be finding some sort of relief because you have, extensive choice, and you have options to select from. So you have 3 themes, and you can prepare very safely from 2 themes. The paper format is such that you can very safely choose or specialize in only 2. So again, just reviewing the content of it, globalization is a very important theme, and in the contemporary world, we see a lot of debate on what is globalization, what is the impact of globalization, and in what ways it has actually influenced the global trade, global development, maybe migration, maybe like social position, there is division of resources alongside, the societies and the states. You'll be finding a number of developed countries, and within the same global setup, we have too many poor countries as well. So globalization deals with all such topics like there are things like globalization and migration, globalization and poverty, globalization and like in what ways power and politics is conducted, and globalization and identity. So all these themes will be discussed. And then media, a very contemporary topic again. Media has been a very topic of interest for many people, for many students and teachers alike, and quite popular as a theme among students, and they really like to study this. And we also really feel good, like media is such a current as well as ever evolving theme, that it has so many different dynamic topics. Like we talk about in what ways media is free, and to what extent media, certain type of media is allowed in different countries. Like we talk about the themes like censorship, editorial, journalistic freedom, the types of states where media is allowed fully or not. Like there are authoritarian regimes, there are democratic countries, as well as there are hybrid kind of systems. So, like, how does media of those states or those situations work? We also talk about in what ways people are represented through media, like women, men, children, elderly. How are they represented? And what are the effects of media? Like, in what ways? What are the approaches through which media's impact, which is quite profound, is assessed? So, and then this is all about it. And then religion, again, a very, very interesting theme. And many students find it, doable, they selected, they really choose this topic because of the reason that definitely many of us are, groomed in a value-based society. So we can very, quite relate to it. However, religion, the theme of religion deals a lot in this within the curriculum. I must tell you that it is a lot where, the Western society and the growing secularization and the new religious movement. It talks more about that than, any other religion or, per se religion as a exclusive theme. But we'll be discussing. It's also a very interesting and wide-ranging topic. So we'll be talking about in what ways religion remains there in many traditional setups and in what ways it is changing and evolving. Paper format is like that. That it's a 70 marks paper, paper 4. Candidates will have to answer two essay questions from two different themes. So like it's a highly selective paper. You have section A, globalization, section B, media, and section C, religion. So each section will be having two essay questions. So yeah, like in totality, you'll be having 6 questions, and you have to choose two questions from two different sections. That's all about it. So I hope this is clear to you, and I tried my best to give you a very crisp, sharp, and lucid kind of explanation about the whole thing. And mm, definitely, whatever you're going to choose it wisely. It's a very good subject. Sociology, A-level sociology is a good, category in your choice, in your elective subjects, as it, always, I will encourage you that whatever you choose, history, world history, law, um, sociology or media, these are the subjects that really enhance your ability to absorb, observe, relate to the real life, and it develops the ability in you to sharpen your writing skills as well as give you the sense of critical thinking. So, all the best for your academic pursuit. Thank you so much.